Hello, my name is Simone and I'm a consultant right here in Tasmania. And what I'd like to do for you today is show you how to use our wonderful Bellish Ezy Press. It's an A4 roller die cutting and embossing machine. Okay, and it comes with all these mats. Now I'll just explain to you what they are. So we have our base A mat, our embossing mat here, and this little flimsy one here that goes with our embossing mat. Then we have this pad here for our standard paper cutting dies, and this one here is for our thick paper cutting dies, and this green one here, X, is for other brand dies. Now this machine is compatible with most leading dies, but it's not compatible with the Tim Holtz, the Bigs and the Sizzix dies because they're far too thick and they just won't fit through the machine. Okay, so I'll just pop those down there. Okay, now what's great about this little machine is, as I said, it's A4. So if you've got dies like really big envelope dies, it's great for cutting those out, or any other big dies that you have. And of course it fits A4 size standard cardstock and papers. Okay, and it's really good for transportation. You can take the handle off and put it in this handy little compartment up here for storage, but I also find this little compartment really great for all your little dies, which is what I've done with all of mine. So I've got them all put in there. And the other good thing is that across the front here it also has all the instructions on which pads to use with which embossing folders and which dies. But once you're used to the pads, it doesn't take long and you won't even need to refer to that. But also for further guidance is on our dies, it's got across here what kind of die it is and what pads to use with it, so you can't go wrong. Also, this machine has a little lever across the front here, and that's for suctioning the machine down to the table so that it doesn't move around, which is really great. Okay, what I'm going to show you how to do is this little tag here, but most importantly this little butterfly. Now this butterfly is a stamp, but I'm going to show you how to create your own embossing plate for your stamps. And to show you a little bit more what I mean, because that's probably really hard to see on there, it's a raised image, is I've done it on another little piece of paper here. Okay, and we're going to be doing that using Glossy Accents. Right, so what you've got to do first is just stamp, and I'm using Broken China Distress ink, so we're just going to stamp 2 butterflies on some white cardstock. Doesn't really matter what colour you use, it depends on the butterfly that you want to create. Okay. Now that hasn't turned out 100%, but that's okay, that's the one we'll use for our Glossy Accents. Alright, so we're just going to cut this first one off because that's the one we're going to cut out for our butterfly. Now this one, okay, all you're going to do with our Glossy Accents, and you might need to just get a pin in there because sometimes they get a bit blocked when not in use. Alright, and all you're going to do is create a raised edge on any parts of that you like. So the inked parts is what I'm going to do, so you're just going to put Glossy Accents to create a raised edge or 3D effect on all those parts there. Okay. Now that's going to take probably a couple of hours to dry. I've just done 2 parts of it there. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little bit hard to see. But because it's going to take some time to dry, I have created another one earlier. I've just done it on different cardstock. I've just watermarked this one. So that's the Glossy Accents when it's dried. And then I've gone and cut the butterfly out. Now I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it's a raised image. So once we put that through the machine, it'll give you a raised image on your butterfly. So how we're going to do that, alright, is we need our base mat A and our floppy mat for embossing. Okay. And we have to cut out our butterfly as well. Just makes it easier to put the other one on top. So we'll do that now. Okay. So there we go. So what you're going to do is get your embossed one and put it on the back of the stamped one, like that. So the Glossy Accents is facing down on your stamped image, like that. Okay, with the stamp part facing down. Okay, and just pop it down on your mat. Be very careful as you place it down so as it doesn't move, and then you'll put your embossing plate B on top. Okay, now this should wind through very easy. If it doesn't, just reverse it and check your stack. Make sure you've got the right pads. And also, if you notice that if you let go of the handle, sometimes it'll flip and it'll hit your hand. So just be careful and keep a hold of that when you're rolling it through. Okay. Alright. Now, so I'm just going to peel that off the back. It might be a little bit hard to see, so I'm just going to turn it over and show you the indentation on the back, and hopefully the camera will be picking up on that. So let's give it a nice raised image. Okay, now I'm just going to put a little bit of distress ink all over it. Get my plastic mat first, and again broken china, and my blending tool. Okay, and just a little bit, working off on the plastic first, off, and then working your way on just a little bit to add a little bit of dimension. And there, he's finished. Okay, now we're just going to do the tag, and again I'm going to use broken china. Okay, and to start with the blending, you start off the tag on the plastic and work your way in so that you don't put bloppy marks all over your tag if you go directly on it. If you work your way in, it's a nice smooth finish. Okay, we're going to work a little bit closer towards more ink on the corners. Okay, and then we're just going to use some black soot distress ink just on the corners to give it a little bit more depth. You don't want too much of this because it'll make it look too dark, so just go sparingly with the black. Okay, right, now for stamping. Okay, we're going to use our flourish stamp and black soot again. I'm just going to stamp it across the centre. And our little friends stamp, that one there. Okay. And also, if you notice with our butterfly, when we cut around him, we cut the little antlers off, and so to put them back on, we're going to stamp the image on the tag first. So with our butterfly stamp and our broken china again, inking it up quite well. Okay, so roughly where you want it to go, just pop that down there. Okay, alright, so there you can see the butterfly image. And what we want to do now, with a little bit of magic mount, is pop that on the centre like that, and then line your butterfly up over the centre of the butterfly that's already stamped there. Okay, and then just to finish that off, I'm going to use a little bit of icicles there, just to give it a little bit of shimmer. Spread it around there. Okay, and that will take a little time to dry, but that's okay. And then lastly, punch our hole in the tag. And just lift his wings up a little bit like that. And there you go. If you would like to purchase any of the products seen today, you can go to the website at www.kaszazz.com, or you can call them on 1800 649 191, or you can visit my blog, and it's SimoneKaszazzConsultant.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching my video.